Hey guys, Ethan here from Mitten Equipment. I'm out here working on leveling off part of the backyard today, and I just wanted to shoot some video with a little bit of my thoughts before it gets too dark. I still have some more work to do, but I have two new Holland Work Master 25 tractors. These are not the 25S, that's like a subcompact. These are a large frame tractor. So of course it's windy today, so bear with me, but I've been using a land plane and my 72-inch Land Pride landscape rake, and at first I was really not impressed with this land plane for leveling off this area, simply because it collects a lot of like natural matter. You'll see in the video how it really just kind of gets caught up in it, doesn't filter out. But if you start leaving it in piles and not having that, not continually trying to work through that, because once you get down to just this dirt, Jesus, it's windy. Once you get down to just dirt like this, the land plane works excellent. And I wanted to put these tractors side by side because I think the R4 tires are taller, which it looks really good. It looks good, but I feel like this tractor with the turf tires pulls the land plane a lot better than this one with the R4s. And I have yet to put a tape measure on them, but I think with the smaller tire size, this tractor puts more torque to the ground. They're both hydrostatic, both 25 horsepower. This one has 100 hours on it, and this one has about 360. So that's kind of why I was using this one anyways, because it has higher hours on it. I'd rather run up the hours on this one. But this land plane has been working really good. I like how it kind of just knocks the high spots down without really carrying too much material. Now you could achieve a very similar result with a box blade, but this kind of allows some material to filter out. And I haven't been using the box blade on this project at all, so I can't really give my thoughts one against the other. The landscape rake that we were using, I will say that worked a lot better when we were first starting off, simply because it could break through the grass and not carry so much material, whereas the land plane would catch the grass and it would build up this giant wad. So the landscape rake worked better at first, but I think this is a better leveling tool. And of course this area is not going to be perfectly flat. All we're trying to do is get it to be smooth, so keep the contours of the ground there, that's fine. Just make it smoother to drive across at a faster speed if you want to mow this. That's really what the goal is, because when you're mowing this has been really rough, and we're still at the beginning of the year, so perfect time to get this done and everything can start growing and we won't have to mess with it too much. I do enjoy mowing back here, but having it smoothed out would be way nicer. You can see that this Woods land plane is adjusted to cut like the minimum possible amount, which is good. I don't think I would do any further. Really, the only place I want this to catch on the ground is in a high spot. And the best way to take a high spot off the ground is, if you have a mound, is to drive, with the mound, because the center of the land plane will catch that, where the skid shoes want to be lower, so it will take that off the top. You kind of got to look at what you're working with and take off the high spots that way. That's why I was running with the length of this trench we have here, and that trench is just for an invisible fence for a dog. But once again, quick hitches, guys. If you don't have one, these are something that I wouldn't want to live without, especially without the bushings. Now, of course, there are some attachments that don't work with the quick hitch, but really, if you're working with anything that's relatively new, it's going to be quick hitch compatible. And you know, this QH05, it does have a few exceptions. It's a little bit of a weird design compared to the others, but I prefer this because it's much lighter than the Speedco quick hitch. This is a pretty heavy quick hitch, and the QH05 is a lot lighter, so to take it on and off of a tractor is definitely easier. You know, the only downside, it doesn't have the adjustable top hook, but I never adjust the top hook, because if the top hook needs to be adjusted, it's just the attachment is not built to the quick hitch standard. So if it doesn't fit the top hook, you know, I take the quick hitch off and just put it on like a normal attachment. Now, some thoughts on these Workmaster tractors. I have really enjoyed running these. I love this large frame tractor, this economy tractor. You know, 25 horsepower, you're still below emission standards, so they're a very popular tractor for around the farm or property, for people who aren't looking to buy, you know, a deluxe tractor with a cab. But that being said, there are some limitations. This 25 horsepower tractor will, this land plane is too much for it when you really get it loaded up. But you know, that is a heavy land plane. Once you get all the dirt in there, a 72-inch landscape rig is a totally different story. But I think 25 horsepower, it's fine for a lot of things, but you know, if you're really trying to push or pull, that's where you'll really feel the horsepower. You know, this 25 horsepower will lift the same amount as what this same model with a higher horsepower would. Where you notice it is in the hydrostatic drive, not having enough power to push into a pile or to pull something like this land plane. But I have been able to get a lot of work done with this, you know, despite it being 25 horsepower. I've gotten a lot of work done with it, and you kind of get used to it. If you were to try to run like a 6-foot brush hog on this, I don't know that it would really handle it. I'd be perfectly comfortable putting a 5-foot brush hog behind it, but the tires on this, you know, you're right at that 60-inch width. So just keep that in mind with these tractors. I am really impressed with the New Hollands. I have these, I guess will be number 2 and 3 of the New Holland tractors I've had. I had a New Holland T1520, and that was a 35 horsepower tractor. But I had it over the winter, so not really a lot I could do with it. I actually didn't even get a chance to plow snow with it, but you do get some nice things like split brakes on here. The loader joystick is a little bit awkward. It would be better if it was over here, but you do get used to it. And there's no armrests and no cup holders on this, so that's, you know, that's another downside. But I'm not sure how much more expensive it is to get into like the Boomer series tractors. Now, the fuel tank being up here totally sucks for refilling. You know, when you have an attachment on the back, you can't get super close to the tractor. Yeah, it's not ideal. I do take this over having it on the hood though, so I guess props to them there. Both of these tractors are 4-wheel drive, and surprisingly they have a mid PTO. This is something you don't see on like the Kubota or John Deere economy tractors, is a mid PTO. And you know, that is because there's not a ton of use for a mid PTO on this kind of tractor. You know, I'm not sure if there's a mid-mount mower available for these. The loader mounts are pretty low on the frame here, so I'm not sure if there's room for a mid-mount mower or not. The only other real use for it would be a front sweeper or snowblower. So pretty limited on uses for the mid PTOs. One of the kind of weird things I've noticed about these tractors is that they have a ton of bucket rollback. I mean, you can see it's wild compared to most other tractors on the market, how far this bucket will roll back. And it makes it, you really have to use the bucket level indicator to gauge what is level on the bottom of the bucket, because looking at the back side of the bucket, there's really no references. You know, the back side of the bucket, it isn't like 90 degrees to the bottom. This top is not really, I mean, it doesn't really match the bottom of the bucket. So, you know, being someone who hasn't run this tractor for a whole lot, you do have to use the bucket level indicator. So thankfully it is already there, you know, for an economy tractor. So anyways, guys, in summary, I'm pretty impressed with these New Hollands. I wouldn't hesitate to get some more. I really love the color of them. I'd like to get some LS tractors. I'm just not sure where I would go as far as dealers. Even the New Holland dealer is a little ways from me, and LS is maybe about the same, but you know, people are more comfortable with these name brand tractors, even though this is an LS. You know, if you look at the tags on this, there's one in the back. It actually says LS. LS right here, made in Korea. But anyways, guys, I'm kind of done rambling for this video. I don't have much additional thoughts. I've only had, you know, maybe 5 or 10 hours on both of these tractors. But you can check us out at mittenequipment.com. We're a used equipment dealer in Rockford, Michigan. So if you're in the West Michigan area, feel free to check us out, see what we got in inventory. This tractor is going to come up for sale pretty quick here. This one I may use around here for a little while and get some more projects done, but these will be available for sale. I'm just kind of out here playing. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.